What's up, guys?
Hey, how you doing?
All right, I'll start with injuries. Breida, he's not going to practice on Thursday. It was positive news. It wasn't a high ankle sprain, but it's still definitely a serious sprain, so probably end up being doubtful this week. Pettis won't be going either. All the guys will have to recheck again on Thursday before practice. Staley again, knee. Richburg, knee. Person, knee. Selleck, quad. Kittle, knee. Goodwin, thigh and hamstring. Sherman, calf. Ward, hamstring. And Foster, shoulder.
You guys aren't practicing Tuesday or Wednesday?
No, I'll probably mess up the days all week. Today's a bonus day for us. Tomorrow is our Monday. And Tuesday and Wednesday will be our Tuesday, so Thursday is our Wednesday.
When you say Dante Pettis isn't going, does that mean he's not practicing or he's not playing on?
No, he won't be playing this week either.
Is the schedule just the way the schedule is, or is it because of the injuries you want to give guys more?
No, it's just because we have 8 days. So we thought it would be good today to give guys more rest. The treatment guys came in and did all that tomorrow. We'll treat tomorrow as a day after the game, go through our normal process with the players, give them Tuesday off, which will be Wednesday, and we'll start up our regular day Thursday, which I will call Wednesday. It'll be a confusing week for me and anyone who talks to us outside of this building.
Is the injury situation lightening up to the point where you would think about considering or think about adding a third quarterback this week?
Yeah, I mean, I see a very similar situation right now as last week. I mean, we're talking about this stuff every Monday. We had a number of running backs in today to work out. We haven't come to a conclusion yet on the quarterback. We'll look more into that tomorrow, since tomorrow will be Monday. We'll still have 2 more days.
Are you looking to add a running back this week?
Possibly. We're trying to see how our guys are, how the health of Breida is. It was better news than anticipated, but it's still not great news. So we'll see that over the next couple of days, and it was good to take a look at some guys today.
You were so good a couple weeks ago disclosing some names for the quarterbacks. I would assume you'll do the same right now for the running backs. So who came in today?
All I remember was jersey numbers.
Okay.
So, I don't remember all the names, sorry.
I mean, are they proven? Are there?
Yeah, we had, I don't want to leave anybody's name out. It would be insulting to them because I should have them all like that, but I just don't.
Is Jeff Wilson in the running to be?
Yes, Jeff would definitely be in the running. I could tell you, Jeremy McNichols, who worked out, because we had him here throughout training camp and stuff. So there's 4 others.
Carl, when looking at a quarterback, again, same question you've been posed. Are you looking at a practice squad guy? Or are you looking as a backup to Beathard?
Nick Mullins is our backup to Beathard, so we're looking for a guy who'd have the chance to come in and play if CJ went down and Nick was going, so we could have immediate backup right away. You'd love to ideally find that as a practice squad guy, but we haven't been able to do that yet. So either one, which would fit that situation better.
Okay. So looking at probably carrying 3 quarterbacks.
Yes, that's more the way we're planning on going. We're kind of hoping we can buy some time till our roster situation makes that easier.
Why were there so many false starts yesterday, and what exactly happened on where Selleck got called for a false start while the officials over the wall?
That one threw me off too. I mean, I didn't even think the game was going on at the time, so I didn't totally get to see it live. But I think watching it on the film, and I haven't got to speak to the guys yet today. It looked like Juice flinched a little bit before the play had started, which I didn't even know if that was illegal or not. And then Selleck followed, so they went offsides and they called it.
And then what about like some of the linemen were jumping? Were the Cardinals drawing them off?
I think Chandler Jones got us a couple times. Anytime you got a guy who's tough to pass block, that will happen. I think there was one time that we were a little bit hesitant to go in motion on one place. We had to draw out the cadence just a little bit longer than usual, and that was one time Lincoln lost his patience, which for that reason I don't put all on him.
On the strip sack that they returned for a touchdown, it was a delayed blitz, and the protection went to the left, and they came in from the right side. Was that an adjustment that should have been made before the snap, or was it just a good call by them, just given the situation?
No, it just happens a lot. They blitz one backer, and your running back picks him up, who's on the other side of the ball, so the guy guarding him in man coverage has to come around, and once he blocks, then he hugs up. So it's not really a hot situation where it's 2 to the backs. if you guys are following my terminology, it's hot when two guys are to the backs. When it's one guy and the second guy's hugging up in man coverage, we call that pretty warm, which means you have time to get rid of it. But the guy's got to be open. And that was the issue on that play. And that's why you see CJ go to throw it. He was making the right read, just guy wasn't open, so he pulled it back, and has got to protect the ball when that happens.
Those short passes and screens were effective on that opening drive and at various points in the game. Was that something that the Cardinals adjusted to after the opening drive?
No, I mean, screens are always hit or miss. Sometimes you catch them in blitzes, and if you can get it off and no one sees the guy you're screening to, there's a lot of room to run. Sometimes you run them into blitzes, and the guy you're trying to screen to runs into stunning people, and it's a waste of call. So screens are always hit or miss. We were fortunate on a number of them yesterday, and a few we weren't.
Did you game plan that because you knew the Cardinals liked to blitz, or because you knew you wouldn't have a lot of downfield options given your receiver situation?
We game planned them because we thought they would work in the game, and they did to a degree. I thought they helped us out a lot, but there's only so many screens you can call. I think we hit our quota yesterday.
Matt Breida's never run more than 12 times in a game, but yesterday he ran 8 times in the first quarter. It looked like he was going to have a monster career day. What was your impression of him in that first quarter?
I thought he's been running how he has all year. He's been hitting it hard. He had a real good week of practice. I know he was limited with his shoulder and stuff, but his legs were moving a lot better than the week before, after he hyperextended his knee, I think, versus Kansas City. So I thought he was fresher going into it. And he's been running good all year, and the guy's been giving him good lanes. So it's unfortunate he had that injury, but I've been real happy with Breida.
Was the plan to ride him in that game?
It's never to ride him. It's to keep him fresh. And I think, we got him runs early. But no, there's never, hey, we're just going to keep handing this guy the ball till he falls. It's, Bobby Turner does a really good job watching them. He knows when they need to rest, and he gets the next guy up when that happens. But I think Breida's earned it to where we're trying to keep him in longer than the other guys. But you don't want to do that too long. You got to take care of him.
On the first strip sack, Staley took responsibility for it after the game, but it also looked like that Beathard could have stepped up, and he had plenty of room in the pocket. Is that something where he just needs to maybe be a little bit more aware of what's going on around him so he can't avoid that play?
Yeah, that's it was cool of Joe to do that, and I think CJ would say the same thing. He did step up in the pocket. He took 2 steps up. Chandler Jones, I thought made a very good play. I think he needs to realize that when you're going against a guy who's almost an alien with how long his arms are, you got to step up even more than you did. Joe wasn't bad on the play. He wasn't perfect either. CJ didn't just stand there. He tried to hitch up because we had juice down the sidelines, and it's a longer developing play. So he hitched up twice to do it, and right when juice popped open, he went to throw, and Chandler Jones' arm got him, which I thought was more a hell of a play by Chandler than anything I'd overcorrect Joe on or CJ. But CJ definitely can learn from that, and we'll be seeing him in a few weeks. And you can talk about his length, but I think he feels it a little bit better now.
Do you see improvement in CJ's pocket awareness at all since obviously since last year, but in the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, I have, definitely. I know that. I know yesterday wasn't a great day in that area. I think it was a lot easier for everyone to see versus San Diego. I thought yesterday we got caught on the pocket a number of times, but that didn't all have to do with CJ. There's times that it did. There's times that they had some blitzes where we had to get rid of it, and there's times where we didn't get open very well. So by no means was CJ perfect, but it was not all his responsibility.
I know that the saying is it's never as good as you think or never as bad as you think, but obviously yesterday didn't look very good because of all the turnovers. When you watched this thing today, did you come out of it feeling more encouraged than maybe when you left here last night?
I know that's the saying. Yesterday was one of the things that it was almost exactly what you thought it was. I think that's the most plays I've ever been a part of in a game, besides going against it. It was the opposite in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. But that was the first time that I think I've ever been on a team over 90 plays. So, we had a lot of first downs. Felt like we were moving the ball pretty well. I think we had our best game on third down, our best game in the red zone. I thought our defense played very well, minus that first play. I thought they tackled better. I thought they did better on third down. I think we gave up 2 in the red zone, which we could have done better on. But for the most part, I felt like we were going the right direction on a lot of areas that we've been focusing on and trying to improve on. And then you get to that turnover section of the stat sheet, and that wasn't the right direction. Five turnovers to 0 is a pretty catastrophic stat and one that's very hard to overcome.
When you have, whatever it is, 92 plays, are you just repeating plays? I mean, do you have enough plays that you don't have to repeat, or what's that like for you as a play caller going through?
It's the same. I mean, you repeat plays all the time, and sometimes you change up formations and stuff, and you move guys different places. But I mean, you do that week in and week out. Also, it's not, you don't go through 1,500 plays in a year and have 1,500 different plays. You know, there's 50 things that we can do in different ways, and we mix them up as the year goes.
Talk about what happened in the missed extra point.
Yeah, it's just the exchange wasn't clean. I think you can see a little bit more on the TV copy. Just the hold wasn't real clean. I think it just adjusted it a little bit at the last second and made us hesitate on it. And we got to be cleaner with the snap and the hold.
Did either of the young X's stand out to you, the guys who played that position yesterday?
I was happy that they got some experience. You know, it was a first game for them. I'd like them to improve going forward on that. You know, I think both of them got their first NFL catches. They made some good plays, but by no means was it perfect. There's certain things they can do better, but I was happy to get them out there and not scared to use them again.
Is Goodwin going to be able to practice on Thursday?
I don't know yet. You know, we'll recheck him then. I hope so, though.
On that fourth down play, Trent's touchdown, you were kind of going down the sideline. Were you just looking to get a better look at the defense pre-snap?
Yes. Yeah. If we had a look that we didn't like at all, I was going to call a timeout.
I'm sure you're not unaware of the perception. You're 1-4. You just lost to a winless team. You've got a couple of tough games. I mean, people are like, well, the season's kind of lost. How do you? It sounds like you addressed maybe some of that to some degree in the locker room yesterday. If you did, can you kind of share your message or what the message will be this week if you feel it needs to be delivered?
You know, I totally understand the frustration and I understand the question with our record. You know, you go into last year and a lot of people were expecting it more last year, so we didn't get it quite as much. And the way we finished, I totally expected people to be more frustrated because I think people did have higher expectations going into this year. So did we. And, you know, we thought we'd start better than 0-9 last year also, though, even though the expectations weren't quite as high. You know, I think it was a tough blow early in the year, as everyone knows, losing McKinnon and then losing our starting quarterback. So I do think that takes a toll, and I think everyone understands that. But that doesn't mean that we can't win games. And I believe, you know, I think we've played in 2 games now without Jimmy, and I think we have been more incapable of winning both of those games, and we haven't gotten it done. So you try to look at that, and you just try to say to the players, why did we lose those games? What did we do good? What did we do bad? And I think there's lots of answers in there what we could have done better to win. And that's really all you can focus on. I understand the pressure that people have, players, coaches, personnel people. You know, it's different in this day and age where, you know, you hear everything. You know, it's hard to simplify your world. And, you know, with social media, with guys go home, even if they don't listen to things, their wives do, their girlfriends do, their brothers do. So that's the world we live in. So it's when you go through that stuff and you don't meet outside expectations, it starts to affect you. And I just try to constantly preach to our guys to be stronger than that, to try to not pay attention to that, because that's not going to help you solve any problems. That's part of what we do. That's part of what we signed up for, and we expect it. Now, are we capable of winning these games? I definitely think we are. You know, I think you can look at numbers or you can watch the film. You know, I thought we did a lot to where we should have won that game yesterday, but I can tell you exactly why we gave ourselves no chance to. We had 5 turnovers and they had 0. You can go to the San Diego game and we can talk the same way and I can come up with things. You know, when you have no chance in hell and you look at that, then that's pretty discouraging. I know we've been through some adversity. I know this is the hand that we've been dealt, and I think we have the people in our organization. I think we have the players. I think we have strong enough people who can deal with it and man up and find a way to win. It's never easy. It definitely gets harder when you do have injuries and things like that. But we have people in here that can win games. We could have won that game yesterday, and we came up short, and that starts with me. We got two days to deal with it, 2 days to look through all of it, and when our players come in, we'll be moving on to Green Bay, and we'll have another chance to do this. And that is what's cool about the NFL. No matter what happens, you get a chance the next week to redeem yourself. And if we don't, it'll be just as hard as it is now, if not harder. But we don't plan on that happening. We plan on getting this out of our system here over the next couple days. We plan on manning up, coming to work, not worrying about things we can't control, and focusing on getting better. And I'll be very surprised if our guys don't do that.
The other side of the turnover thing is that you guys didn't force any, and I think Richard Sherman said that's tied back to the pass rush, and numbers say, you guys haven't gotten much. Going forward with the pass rush, what's the balance you have to walk between staying true to your scheme and maybe varying what you need to do in terms of blitzes or getting more creative to generate the pass rush you need?
I think that's what we've been doing. I think we've changed I think we blitz a lot more than we have in the past. When everything's perfect, you can just sit there and play cover 3 every single play, get home, have your 4 guys underneath drop, make them check it down because it's going to happen very fast. Your corners just stay on top and defend the goes. Your middle third safety just defend the post. And then there's no other responsibility. The quarterback's going to have to get rid of it on one hitch, and he's going to check it down, and then you want to see how fast 11 guys can fly to the ball and hit. And that makes life very easy, and it makes it very hard for an offense to get to. When you don't have all of that firing and it's not going as well as you want, you have to do other stuff. You have to mix in man coverage, you have to mix in 2-shell defenses, and you have to blitz, which we have done. You do too much of that, and you'll get guys in bad positions. You run zone dogs to get pressure there, but if zone dogs don't get home, then sometimes you can have a defensive end. Even though it's a zone dog, they still are going to end up having to man a guy through their zone, and you can have a defensive end manning a tight end on a corner, which isn't always good. So then you try to just bail out and play 3 deep, and if the quarterback can sit there and take a bunch of hitches and move people, you're going to open up a zone somewhere else. So it's keeping the guys off balance. I think our defense did a pretty good job of that yesterday. I think they had their times in San Diego where they did a pretty good job of that, especially versus that quarterback, Phillip Rivers, that they were going against. So I do think that there's some things that we're doing all right, and I think there's some things that we can get a lot better in. I think we've been close to winning. That's not an excuse. We definitely should have won more games than we have. But I'm not going to sit here and look for some crazy answer or just – I think it's all right there, and you can understand it with your question. We can do better than we're doing. We have to mix things up like we have been, and we got to find ways to not turn it over and get the ball in the end zone.
I know Mostert got off to a rough start with that first carry yesterday, but see a guy moving forward. If Breida can't go, could you see him being a significant part of that running back rotation and taking some of the load off of Alfred, or is?
He needs to get there. When you're third, Raheem's one of the best special teams players in the league, and that's why he's going to always be up on game day. But he is also our third running back, and your third running back can be a very important factor in the game at any moment. And the way our backs have struggled to stay healthy through these games. So the more confidence Raheem can get, the more confidence we can get in him, the more it'll help us, because Raheem has the ability. He's an extremely tough player. He is very important to him. He works at it, not just special teams, but he works at offense. And I know it was unfortunate. He went in on his first carry, had that fumble. He came back in later, made a pretty good run. But Raheem's someone who does have to step it up for us when people go down.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys. Thanks.